Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Well, we're getting some parts cleaned. Yes, welcome back. So, we've dove right in, and I started getting things scrubbed down, checking things out, making sure everything's good. And so far, we're having no issues. Everything is cleaned up nice, no discoloration in any of the parts. The pump and stuff looks good. Looks really good. No bad marks in there at all or anything. And making sure that everything stays as it is. So we're paying very close attention to any damage that may be in this transmission. So this is the rear carrier, which goes right against the back of the transmission inside there. This is your reverse band here. So going over them, looking for any discoloration, looking for any chipped teeth. Mostly inside here, we got to make sure that none of these cut gears have any damage to them. This is where the planetary runs inside of here. So we'll be checking these teeth. If these are good, the planetary ones are probably good as well too. But we're making double sure that all those parts are good as well. Now going on to the drum. Gonna be a part that falls out there. There we go. These drums are extra important. What I'm really looking for here, inside each one of these notches, this is where the steels from the clutch plates sit. They have a little tab on them so they don't spin. In the edges, as the transmission wears, they can get grooves in them, and they'll actually make it so those plates stick. So I'm checking to make sure everything's nice and smooth in there. I don't see any notches or anything like that. So that is really good. And then also, the band itself, or the band rides, on the drum itself, no discoloration. This hasn't got hot. If you go through YouTube, you see some of the videos where guys are tearing this down, and these things are like blue, just like you put a torch to them. They've been slipping and really creating heat. Now on this one here, you see these little, right by my thumb, there's a couple little heat check marks. Now, they're definitely not, I can't feel anything on them. And the band itself, we're keeping it going the same way all the time. There's not a mark on the band. There's no spot on here where there's like a burn spot or a chip or anything. This band is in perfect shape. And you can see all the grooves in the band there. Well, those grooves, those are the discolorations that you see going across here. It's just spots where the band doesn't touch. They're just, I guess, I don't know what you want to call it, the original steel. You know, it's never slid on top of that. And there is no change in pattern across that. You can't feel anything. Where you see this change here, this is actually a low spot where the band rides is raised up, and there's no deflections, no bad spots, no rough spots. This thing is good to go. Now here, this is the inner race. This locks solid to the back side of the carrier drum. And then this is what your sprag rides on. All your sprag rollers are on the back here. That stops that drum from being able to turn backwards on itself. They'll lock in, but there is nothing going on there. She is perfect. Really good. And we're keeping this all the same way it came out, just so we know everything's going to ride the best it can. So the next part I'm going to work on is the main shaft. This is the internal half. The pump is on this end. The rear transmission pump is on this side here. And going back, that's the end of the tranny shaft where it goes out to the dry shaft. Now, I'm not going to do a whole lot with this other than just clean up what you can see on the outside. I got to look more into this, the governor here. I'm not sure what I can or should take apart on this, or what's serviceable in the kit, the transmission kit that I have coming. I don't see anything really related to this, and I am new with this as well too. So I don't know if this is something that I mess with or can check out or clean. Now there are little tiny snap rings in here I see. I can tell there's a spring in here that's doing something. I don't know if you can see the little valve moving there. I think it's a type of centrifugal valve, but I'm not 100% sure. So I got to look more into that. But outside of that, we're just going to get this all cleaned up. This little tiny ball that's in here that locks the pump to this shaft, and that's what rotates the offset gear around there. Cannot lose this. So I'm putting this on here for you guys so you can help me remember as well too. And I have a chance to go back and look. This little ball is going to be in the cup that has the bearings and the springs for the sprag. And putting this on my TikTok as well too when it gets to this point, just so I have a reference come back that if I can't find it, at least I know where to go looking for it. So I kind of jumped forward here a little bit. Just getting right back into cleaning. We're on the planetary drive. Now there's two of them. The front one and there's a rear one. So I've gone through, removed all the bushings, the bronze bushings, checked them all out. Everything's been cleaned down. Now I've just been going over these, double checking teeth, making sure that there's no chips or cracks in them. These things move smooth as butter. There's no issues there. This is a locking surface. This one doesn't spin, but this one does. And it is super smooth and clean. And of course, when we come into the drum housing as well, we're double checking the teeth, inner and outer. Checking the drum to make sure there's no defects in it. There's no color change, so we know this wasn't overheated too bad. And there's no grooves here on the sides. But everything looks good. No issues at all. All the bronze bushings look good as well too. And the other planetary carrier, same thing. Teeth are perfect. No issues there. And there's no issues on the carrier inside. And then of course this runs up inside of here. This is our first set of clutch packs. So just checking. You can see the color differences here. See the little checker pattern? There's some color differences. Just where it's been wearing and cleaned up, but there's no physical edge that I can feel. So the clutch pack should slide along there, no problem at all. So now this brings us to our second clutch pack. Now, this one's going to be a little more detailed. Feel free to fast forward if you want, but I am going to go through this bit by bit, kind of, hopefully I don't run out of space on my phone, but it'll be continuous as I take it apart. So you're going to be seeing as I am seeing it. Over on my TikTok channel, I had a lot of people that they really want to see a little more detail on how this comes apart, and they don't mind the long drawn out video, but I'm just cut for time over there, only 10 minutes. So I'm going to slowly go through this and get it apart. We're going to see everything that's in here. So this is also going to help people on here as well too, because you didn't actually see fully how things are coming apart on the other one. First thing you got to do, let's get this out of here. Here with this brake band. And again, just check everything as we go. Make sure everything is good. There's no marks in there, no chunks missing out of any of the material. There's a lining in here, just like on a brake drum or brake pad. There's a lining in here. It's good. And then we got, of course, the keepers, which fit into the grooves on each side, which actually tighten up the drum, or tighten up the band around the drum when it's engaged. But let's get this ring off and see what's going on in here. Snap ring, not grooved or anything, looks good. And I'm just going to peel this apart, making sure that everything sets out the way it came out. Got our master band here, our master steel. Looks good, no grooves, no gouges in it. We start going right into our clutch pack. Now notice this clutch pack is different. Our other ones had grooves all the way around it, like a pattern. Seems to be nothing in this one. Then we get our first replaceable steel coming out, and these are in excellent shape. The ones that were for the reverse band, they were burnt. Not sure why reverse was burnt so bad. But yeah. Fiber steel, that's the way they go together. Everything looking good. Not finding any chunks taken out, any problems. And that's the biggest thing. I want to make sure everything is good and solid. There. Get a bunch out this time. These steels will be replaced. The kit that I'm getting, the master kit, comes with all new steels and all new clutch plates. You know what? For the price, it's not really worth trying to save these. Just a little dirt. Not really worth trying to save them. And that's the last one. And then what's left in behind here, the bonded piston that's down in here. All right, now we're into the point of pulling out the springs and the whole actuator here inside. Now I'm sure there's a few people cringing at this. I did my best. This is all spaced out evenly and just a little bit of pressure. I'm not cranking this right down. It's just enough so that I can spin the snap ring here inside and get it apart. That's all I really need to do is just get in here so I can open that up and take that off. There we go. Just want to be careful that I'm not prying this up too hard. There we go. The ring out. Now gently remove these clamps and hope she doesn't just slip off and blow out of there. I'm sure taking this off in even pressure would be the ideal thing to do. Unfortunately, I don't have that option. Just do it nice and gentle. There. Come on out of there. Listen careful. Don't want to lose it. Whoa, shoot. Shoot. Lost a few springs. All right, we'll go find those. No problem at all. There we go. Just a couple springs popped out on the floor. So there we go. There's our pressure plate. And of course, all the little springs that hold our pressure plate up. Now these kind of important to get those apart. I want to make sure that none of these springs are broken. Doesn't really matter which order they go in. But they all look good. That'll just be something else to clean up. Again, this transmission's clean. There's just like a little layer of like soot that come out of the oil just from sitting so long. But other than that, this thing looks super good inside. I get no grooves at all on the edges here. Everything is looking super awesome. Surface that rides against the pump is good. No issues there at all. Get this piston out now. Should just wiggle out. She's a pretty tight fit, so there we go. The seal here, right on the edge, very, very important. That'll be replaced with the master kit. So a lot of transmission fluid down in there, but you know what? It's cleaner. It's cleaner than the rest of the stuff that was in there. It's nice and red. It's in excellent shape. I think I'm getting pretty lucky with all the build of this thing. And then actually I'll show you down in here. You can see there's holes, like right there. There's actually another one down here as well. That's where your pressure from the pump forces the pressure in and out, causing that clutch pack to open and close. So, yeah, looks really, really good. It's going to dump the last of that transmission fluid out. We'll clean some parts off and get a closer look. Now, it's time to go through and clean all this stuff. Now, this part I'm definitely not going to bore you with. All I got is got some rags, got some thinners. I'm going to go through, clean this up. I'm going to clean everything, even though I'm not reusing the discs of fibers that are coming in the kit. I'm going to clean them up anyway to get everything nice and tidy, and it'll all go back together the way it came apart, because it will be a little while till I get my kit in, and honestly, I'll probably forget. I'll probably forget how this thing's assembled, and I definitely don't want to have an issue there. So just get all this cleaned up, and we'll throw it aside. We'll kind of go back over it again, then we'll start looking at some more parts. There, now we get a little more close-up look in here. So all the parts are clean. The drum is in excellent condition. You can see a little bit of discoloration, but there's physically no difference in the surface going across, or you can't feel anything. Nice and clean. And the same with the piston. There's no big gouges that were taken out of the rubber. And inside, the seal down below here, it's all smooth as well too. So I'm sure there was probably no issue with this. And also, I probably could have got away with leaving this together. But you never know, right? It's been sitting so long, you never know. So we're just going to put things back together the way they were. Again, all the steel plates and everything, they're perfect. They're not like the reverse bands that were all chewed up. So I'm just dropping them all in so I know where they were. Like I said, the new kit that I'm buying anyway, it's going to be all steels and fibers, so I'm not really worried about reusing these at all. But I do want to keep it together, just so in my mind, I know for sure how it came out, and hopefully how it goes back. That'll be the big thing. It's not that complicated. You know what? Just keep your eyes open. It only goes back together one way. So really, the only problem is if you lose some parts. That'd be the biggest problem. Then, of course, the band goes all around there. And then we have our two spacers for it. That's everything for that clutch pack. That is a teardown of it. It's clean, excellent shape. So no worries there. New set of fibers and steels. The big O-ring around the piston, and there's an internal one as well. They'll get replaced with it. The bearings look fine. They're perfect, actually. The whole transmission's been the same way. I can see all the original cross-hatching and everything that's in there, and it all looks good. But with the final clutch pack done, the next thing is going to be to the main pump. Well, quite the whirlwind we got going through this transmission. A lot of this stuff is on my TikTok channel. I just kind of bouncing back and forth. It's hard to make 2 videos of all this, but we're getting near the end. We're down to the governor here. This is what I took apart. It's attached to the main spur gear, which is your park on the back of the main shaft. I did pick myself up a book. I got the Mopar Bible, part 2, I guess. The first one's the engine. This is everything to do with the A727 transmission. Right from the street driving, which is what we're going to be doing 90% of the time. And this book will take this transmission and give you a full breakdown and a full rebuild of how to make this ready for the strip. So you can lift the front end of your car off the ground if you want. They say from stock, 700 horsepower. This book, they're pushing the limits. They're past that. We don't have to worry about that with this beast. We're not building a rocket ship. So anyway, so I'm just going through here. I disassembled the governor. I wanted to wait till I got the book because I was a little unsure how this weighted system comes apart or what was really involved in it. And yeah, it really wasn't that big of a deal. I could have did it, but better safe than sorry. I've never been into it this deep before. But now that I got it apart, it's got some brake clean. We're going to clean it up. All right, so I put the 2 halves together. Got it lubed up inside. Got it bolted down nice and snug. It does have these locking tabs that go across. I'm gonna get ready to put this on the shaft. Gonna make sure we get some good transmission fluid in between all this. Nice clean transmission fluid as well. Like I said, this will all be wrapped up in plastic. Want this together, sealed up good for when the transmission is ready to go together. I do have my master rebuild kit on order, which is awesome. But that's still going to be a few weeks away. So I just want to make sure everything's going to stay good in here. Now in this gear, see if we can see it here. You can see that right on the bottom, there's one spot where it's missing a tooth. So when I took it off, I paid attention where it went, but the missing tooth aligns with the side that the ball bearing is for the pump drive. So slide this back on. You'll also know for sure if you're in the right spot because the hole that goes through the shaft there for the connecting rod for the weight, it has to be dead center so it passes through. It looks good. So now I'll lube up that shaft, trying not to touch that with my hands. Can't find my gloves. So I'm going to do the best I can, get it set on the rod, and get that assembly put through.
There we go. It is completely back together now. Now, I don't know where we are with these videos. I'll be honest, this is all since the last video you saw, and this one, it's been about must be getting close to 2 months now. So I really have no idea where we are at in the series as in length of time, or how many videos I got dedicated to taking this transmission apart for the length of time. But this is it. This is going to be the end of this half. All the transmission is clean. The tail shaft is clean with the governor. I have the valve body complete. I threw paint. I painted the outside casing of the transmission, and really that's about it. I'm just waiting on a kit, rebuild kit to come in. Like I said, it is a master rebuild kit, so I'm getting the bearings as well on the tail shaft, and also it comes with a little more of the other parts that are inside. But again, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the subscribes. And thanks for the comments that people dropped through on some of the videos. A lot of videos, man, are coming up old videos lately. I don't know what it is, but yeah, there's a lot of old videos that are popping back up again that are people watching, which is great because they're boosting real good going back. And it's actually pushing a lot of my content further to the front. But anyway, love you all. Catch you again later.